Hey guys! So it's been quite a while since the first time I've posted on my channel. I've been recently getting requests to show you how I actually apply the eye glue since I did not do so in my first video, so that's what this video is going to be about. I do apologize for not posting much sooner. I've actually been waiting for my eye to go back to a monolid state so I could properly show you how I apply the eye glue. But like I mentioned in my first video, my eye rarely does so, or it goes back to its double-lid state before giving me the chance to put the eye glue on. So sometime in the future I will be posting how I apply the eye glue when it's in a monolid state. I just do not know when. So now I'm just going to jump into the purpose of this video. I do want to say that if you are a new watcher or if you're an old watcher and you've seen the first video that I've posted, disregard it. After rewatching it, I realized that the technique that I gave you was not strategic and it looked confusing. So I do have a different, I don't know if it's better, but a different technique that I think would be much easier to demonstrate and to use, to help figure out where's the best place to start your crease and what looks natural. So that's what I'm gonna do. The only thing I do want you to keep from the first video, if you did watch it, is, my technique of putting the eye glue on at night. Not during the day, at night. This way you could put on as much glue as you want. It can look crazy. It can look glued together. You can put a lot of glue on. It doesn't matter because you're putting it on at night. The benefit of that is that if it's on all at night, then you can take it off in the morning and not have to wear the eye glue. Your eye is going to stay, with its crease, maybe for a few hours, maybe for the whole day. The longer you train your eye to have its crease and be in a double lid state at night, the less you're going to have to put the glue on. I've been doing this since high school. I'm going to be in my senior year of college. I started doing this when I was a freshman in high school. And someone asked me actually, how long did it take for my eye to permanently go back, or stay in its double-lid state? I guess permanently would be the wrong word, just because, every once in a while I still need to put the glue on, but it's just so infrequent. So I actually have seen also someone had posted that they tried my technique and they didn't have to put glue on for weeks. So basically, the longer you use the glue at night, the less you're going to have to put the glue on in the future, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm just going to go right into the technique. So I'm using the iTalk eye glue brand. I got this from Amazon, but you can also get it from a Korean beauty store or an Asian beauty store. This is actually the waterproof version. I don't think there's a difference between the waterproof and the non-waterproof, especially in this brand, because if it got wet, it was ruined and I had to do it all over again, the glue. So waterproof or not, there's no difference. Okay, so usually when you buy the glue, you get the stick. I know in my first video I said that I did not like using this end, I preferred this end, but now I'm changing it where this end is actually going to be more beneficial for beginners. The only reason why I said I didn't like it in my first video was because, when I had the glue on, it would dry and the stick would get stuck in between the crease, and then when I tried to pull it out, the crease would get ruined, and then I'd have to take the glue off and start all over again. So that's why I'm saying in this technique, put a lot of glue on. I know I said that in my old video too, but if you put a lot of glue on, then you're gonna have no problems with this end. I usually like this end just because my eye is now so used to having a crease and being in this state that it's very easy for me to just sweep it across my eye. But if you're a beginner, this end is gonna be more useful for you. So basically, to start, if you're looking in a mirror, I want you to lift your head up and raise your eyebrows a little bit. Not like all the way up, but like just enough so that your eye is flat. You don't see any creases, but not so stiff that you don't have room to play with it, but enough so that you can still, make a crease wherever you want it to be. So basically what you're gonna do when you lift your eyebrows, lift your head up, make sure it's flat, you're going to basically follow along your tear duct or inner corner line. I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology. I will try to explain this as best as I can. So yes, you're going to take the V-stick and you are going to follow along this inner corner line. So basically I think it ends like right here. So yeah, you're going to follow along this crease line, and this is going to be where your crease is going to be. If you want it to be there. It doesn't have to be. I only put it there because to me this feels natural, it feels right. So, I was playing with Zero, so there's some glue on my eye. Okay, so yes, lift your head up, raise your eyebrows, make sure your eyelid's a little flat but not too stiff so you can still play with it. Follow along your inner corner line until like it ends like right there. Push inward. So basically where this line is basically going to be where your crease is going to be. So follow along this line, push inwards a little bit, and sweep it across your eye. Just sweep it. There's no glue on right now. I'm making sure you guys know that. Just so that you can, this is where you're going to just play with your eye and figure out, is this where I want my crease to be? So this to me, when I follow my inner line, my inner corner eye line, push inward a little bit and just sweep, this to me was where I wanted my crease to be. If you can actually tell though, this eyelid or crease is actually a little lower than this eye. But I'm okay with that because this feels right. This, I still feel very comfortable with how I look. Not everything's gonna be perfect, but I just felt like if I tried to make it any higher, it just wasn't going to look natural. So, like I said again, raise your head up, raise your eyebrows, make sure, it's flat, but enough for you to play with, and follow your inner corner eye line, push inward, and sweep it across. You're using basically this corner eye line as your guide of where you want your crease to be. Now, one important note before we put the glue on is make sure you have your crease defined by the corner, because this is what's going to help make sure that it holds. Because sometimes there'll be instances where like you have a crease back here, but here, I'm actually going to show you if I can, but it's going to not have a crease towards the front like this. And if it's like this, your eye is most likely going to go back to its monolid state. So you want to make sure that you have your crease defined towards your corner of the eye to prevent that, like that. Okay. Also, one thing before you put the glue on to make sure you do is after you, defined your eye and you put the glue on, you sweep it across. When you're taking the stick out, don't pull it out upward, don't pull it out, sideways. Follow along where your crease is and then let it out in that direction. Get it? So like if your eye is basically doing an arch, that's when you should take the stick out. When, it's basically on that course to come off. Don't yank it in any other direction. So now it's time to apply the eye glue. So basically, you're going to put a lot of eye glue on around the area of where you want your crease to be. And make sure to put a lot in the corner, because like I said, you want to make sure your corner is defined and glued, because if that's strong and that has its crease, your eye is most likely going to stay in its double-lid state. If it's missing kind of a crease and only this has a crease, it's gonna fall back to its monolid state. Okay, so now, whoa, that's a lot of glue. Okay, so once you put on a lot of glue, now you have more room to play with if you mess up, because if the less you put, the more dry it's gonna get. You're gonna have to take it off, put it back on, so yeah. Okay, so like I said, lift your head up, raise your eyebrows, and you're going to follow along your tear duct or inner corner line, push inward, and sweep it across. Sweep it across, and make sure your inner corner right here is defined. And so because my eye's already kind of in its double-edged state, I don't really have to keep swishing this. So now I'm following its course where it's going to come off, going down, and you pull it off. There you go. Remember, don't pull it upward, don't pull it, in any direction that it's not naturally going in. And voila. So now you want to make sure to look up and hold it there and just dry it out, fan your hand for, 5-10 minutes, whenever you feel it is dry. Try not to blink. If you do have to blink, make sure you're still looking upwards, because you want to make sure your eye is going to dry with the glue with its crease. So immediately after you take out the glue, take out the stick from applying the glue, look up and fan and let it dry. And then when you feel like it's dry enough, there you go. So now I'm gonna give you a little tip too. So sometimes when I really want to make sure it's really glued, that's when I'll push my eyelid downward to get the other glue. Like that. Now, okay. I know, it looks like I barely have an eyelid and this one does, but guess what? That doesn't matter, because you're going to sleep with it. In the morning, I promise you, your eye's not going to look that tiny. You're just doing that to make sure that your crease in the back is being held by the glue, and having it glued up here will also keep that hold. And that's basically it. So like I said, lift your head up, raise your eyebrows. I'm going to actually demonstrate on this eye. Tilt your head back, raise your eyebrows, make sure it's flat so that you don't see a crease, but that it's not so stiff so you can still play with it. You're going to follow along your inner corner line or tear duct line, and you're going to push inward. You're going to swish it. Swish. So lift your head up, eyebrows, follow the line, push it inward. Swish it around, back and forth. Make sure your inner corner is defined right there. And then when you're ready to pull it out, just follow along where it was naturally going. Take it out, look up, fan it, make sure it's dry. Push your eyelid down so it's glued too, and then go to sleep, and voila, that's it. You just want to make sure you have a lot so that when you close your eyes, look, I'm blinking a lot. And see, it still stayed. If I raise my eyebrows, it's still going to stay. Put a lot, make sure it's dry. Now I hope this helps. I hope it was much easier to show you. If you still have questions, let me know. I'll try to explain it, as best as I can. Thanks for watching.